Web design is a huge field with multiple areas of specialization. In fact, I've heard the term used to describe everything from the visual design of websites all the way to the development of sophisticated web applications. Because of this, it's really difficult for me to tell somebody exactly which set of skills they're going to need to master in order to become a web designer. A lot of that is going to depend upon exactly which area of web design they want to specialize in. However, there are some basic core skills that every web designer is going to need. Regardless of which area you decide to specialize in, for example, you're going to need to have a working knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Those three languages form the core of all content on the web, and you should consider them as essential skills. Although there are some tools out there that make the process of authoring web content a little bit easier, there really aren't any of them out there right now that are going to allow you to create websites without having to write at least a little bit of code, regardless of what their marketing departments are going to try to tell you. Now, that's not likely to change in the near future either. So if you're serious about becoming a web designer, you need to embrace the prospect of writing and authoring code. I know that there are a lot of people out there that tend to be a little anxious about the prospect of learning to code. Now, other folks are just going to dive right in and just charge head first. But if you're one of those people that have a little anxiety over it, I want to reassure you that learning to code is actually a lot easier than you might think. And the basics of coding are extremely easy to pick up. That's why in this first chapter, I want to focus on introducing you to those three languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we're going to do a few hands-on exercises. Now, we're not going to do any deep dives into the languages. We're not going to focus a lot on syntax. Rather, I just want you to have some hands-on experience with generating code and seeing how simple most of the code that's required to create websites really is. I've found that once people get in and write a few lines of code and actually seeing it work, that their anxiety just tends to melt away. All right, so we're going to start with the foundation of almost all websites, and that would be HTML, and we're going to do that next.